Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be working with this Love from Lizzie basket of flower die set. And this is part of the Love from Lizzie April 24 card kit Spring Wishes. And I thought I would just die cut this out and do some coloring on it and just color it up and make a quick card out of it. So I've got all my pieces die cut out on some Nina Solar White paper, I believe. And I'm just going to bring in my little rubber mat here so that my die cuts will kind of stick to my desktop and not move around as I'm trying to color them. I'm going to bring in my tri-blend markers and I'm just going to do some coloring on here. And I've got my brown blend for my basket. And I'll just get it blended up. And then I'm going to bring in some other colors and do the rest. And I will speed this up and put it to music because it took me a good while to do the coloring on this. And I kind of made a mess of the flowers and just kept going and figured out a way to do something that I could use. So I'll just put some music on and you can watch me color and then we'll come back. Okay, so at this point I've colored it just way too dark and I'm trying to cover it up, trying to figure out what to do. And I tried to use my colorless blender to just kind of tone it down. And I've decided that I'm going to just color up these extra die cut pieces and just cover them up and try to make it look not so harsh. So I'm just going to take these extra flowers and just put some lighter colors on there and just try to brighten it up a little bit. And I'm using the same colors that I used on the first two flowers. Originally I thought that it'd be nice to have some kind of blue with the pink, but the colors, my tri-blend markers, were just not right. They just, I don't know, it didn't come out. Maybe you liked it. Let me know in the comments what you thought, but I just felt like it just looked messy. So I'm going to color these up and get them laid down, and I'll use some foam and just pop it up so that gives a little bit of dimension, and you can kind of see the dark behind it, just creating a little shadow. And I've decided I'm going to bring in the leaves as well, and I'm going to ink blend them up and tuck them in some spots to kind of help cover up some of that coloring that I didn't like. And so I'm just going to use the tri-blend marker and add some detail to it and trim them down and then slide them in and just kind of cover up some of it. I really like this die set, and I'm going to have to do it again so that I can come out with something that I am proud of and that I like. I was disappointed in my coloring on this one, but ultimately I'm going to use it, and so I'm just kind of working around it, and I'm just going to tuck these leaves on. I need to snip the stems off a little bit so that I can tuck them in, and so I'll do that. But this die is very detailed, and it cuts like a dream. And you can just pop the pieces out. You can kind of wiggle the extra pieces out. And I love the basket. I love the basket handle. I had fun coloring the basket, and I was pleased with how that turned out. But when I got to that second set of flowers where I was trying to add a little bit of different color, that's where things just kind of went astray. So I'm just coloring the centers of the flowers or the smaller flowers, and I'm going to add just an extra flower to that bunch of 3 just to kind of add some dimension there as well. I thought I'd just use all the die cut pieces that I had and add them to the basket. I have gotten love from Lizzie before, and it's been a while, and I always enjoy the kits from Love from Lizzie. I've linked all the materials in the description box below. This was actually the April 2024 Spring Wishes kit, and I have linked it in the description box, so if you want to check it out. She will be shipping from Canada now. I think she used to be in the UK, and she recently moved. In fact, shipping is currently suspended because of the move, but I think it'll probably maybe speed up shipping now. We'll see. So I'm just kind of checking it out, trying to see if I think that it's still usable. And I'm going to move my silicone mat there, and I'm just going to bring in my card base, and I will get this laid down on there. Now, in this kit, there were some card bases included, and the cards are like a 5x5 square, but they're not exactly 5x5. I'm trying to find the card so that I can measure it and tell you exactly what it is. Let's see. And my chair is very squeaky. I got to get a new chair. I'm going to get, when I'm measuring in eighths, I like to use my little score buddy because I can see exactly. It actually is probably a long 5 1/4 square is what it is. It's kind of in between 5 1/4 and 5 3/8 is where the card base is. And we don't normally use those a lot in the U.S. just because you do pay more to mail a square card than you do another. But this, you could easily give this with a gift or something like that and not necessarily mail it. But I got the card bases and the envelopes in the kit, and I'm going to use them. So now I'm bringing in some of the embellishments that were part of the kit, just still trying to figure out ways that I can improve the way those flowers look. So I'm just going to lay these kind of gem-like florals and sequins down on there and just add a little extra bling and try to salvage the flowers. I think I'm looking at it now, and I think it came together okay. I think my coloring definitely could have been better, but it is definitely something that I can use, and I think people will appreciate it because it is, a nice handmade card. So just using the embellishments and adorning these flowers, and I think it looks okay. So now what I'm doing is I see some white peeking around my basket handle, and I'm trying to just kind of fill in those white gaps there. And this is my 5 1/4 plus a smidge card base, and I've cut down a piece of the pattern paper, and you can see there's cute little bunnies with little eggs on the back of it, and I'm just going to use this purple trellis looking pattern, and I'm just going to use my tape runner. I was afraid maybe the glue might show through the back of this paper, so I just used my tape runner, and I'm going to get it laid down on there. And I went to grab my mat to hold my corner down, and it grabbed all of my dies, so I grabbed another one, and I'm just going to lay this down on there. And I think it's really pretty, the purple with the white trellis and then the white card panel showing behind it. Now I'm going to use some of these Love from Lizzie strips. Now I don't know if you've ever used these or familiar with them, but she makes these in all colors, and you can get them with some sequins and some different, and they make really nice edges. And so I'm just going to lay it down on the edge of my purple pattern paper and just trim it up and just go all the way around it and make just a little border on there. I'll do it on all 4 sides and trim it up. And I didn't lay the corners exactly like I wanted to, so I'm going to use some embellishments to finish off the corners and add a little additional interest to my card. Now the pieces that I'm cutting off, I'm laying back on the strip so that I can use them in situations when I need smaller pieces. And I ordered, in addition to getting this kit, I ordered all the colors in these strips so that I would have them to use as I need them. These are fun. And my husband is coughing and blowing his nose in the background, so I don't know if you're hearing all that, and I apologize. And I'm just getting the last strip I'm going to get laid down on there. And I wasn't happy with the coloring, and I also wasn't happy with how I laid the corners down on this. So I'm going to just work around all of my issues. Sometimes I think if you just keep going, you'll come up with a solution and something that you can use. And I think that looks pretty on there. I'm just going to make it the focal point. And so I'm just going to get some of my glue, and I'm going to get this laid down on there. And I'm using this fine tip glue bottle just because the pieces are pretty fine in which I'm laying the glue down. I'm just trying to get some dots here and there and everywhere so that it'll lay down well. And I've got a little dog in the background that is demanding my attention, so I need to pet him. We are dog sitting again for my daughter's 2 dogs. Okay, so we'll get this laid down on here. And I think it looks pretty. I think it'll look nice with that pattern paper, and it's, you know, something that I can use. Now I've got these little floral, I don't know, they're sparkly, and they've got a little pearl in the center of them. They're just little flowers, and I'm going to put them on all 4 corners, and that will cover up the cutting that I did on my corners so that if it's not exactly perfect, you won't notice it. So I guess I'm basically pointing out all of my flaws to you today. Card making is not perfect, and when it's handmade, it's not going to be. So you're going to have issues, and you just kind of work around them. So I'm getting that handle pressed down. It was popped up a little bit. And I'm going to bring in the stamp set for a sentiment. There's a beautiful stamp set here. It's got these bunnies. It has spring wishes. It has just hopping by and some different things. And I'm going to use the spring wishes, and I'm going to bring in some of that scrap paper. The dogs are playing behind me. And just stamp that down. And my first stamping, it was okay, but it wasn't perfect, so I went ahead and stamped again. So you watched me do it twice here. And I'm trying to be careful because I know it's a very fine sentiment. I do bring in the Gina K ink and use on it. I had a purple color there that I thought matched nicely with my paper. And so I'm just going to stamp it down a couple times, and then I'll look at it and decide that it's a little bit smudgy. And I thought about flipping that paper, and then I thought, I've got some more laying on the side. I'll just bring in a fresh piece of paper, try to lay it in the area, and then just stamp it again a little bit softer. I think it'll stamp better because this was the first time I used it. Now this will be the second time. And so it should stamp nice. And I'm just gently pressing on the edge of my MISTI to get it to lay down, and that was nice. So I'm going to bring in one of my banner dies and just die cut it out. So I'm just laying it down there. I'll tape it up and cut it out, and then come back and see how that looks on our card. So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, how do I want to arrange this? Is it too long? And I decided it is too long, and I'm just going to trim it down. I like using the banner die even if I trim it down, just so I have a good clean straight edge on both top and bottom, and then I can kind of trim the sides off. I'm going to add a little bit of foam tape so that I can let it hang over my basket. I just didn't want to cover up that basket. I just really like the detail of the basket, and so I was trying not to cover up very much of it. I'm just going to lay Happy Spring down on there, and that's going to finish up my card, and I think it turned out really good considering all the problems I had. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.